Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Today, we're going to be discussing U.S. Small Business Administration programs and funds that are available to small businesses across the United States. With us today, we have Terry Bolden with the Columbus Regional Office for the SBA. Before we get things started here, first off, I just want to go over a couple of housekeeping items with everyone. So if you encounter any issues during the webinar, more than likely it's just frozen, so just close it out. Click the link that was sent to you and restart it again. That will solve 99% of the problems you're experiencing. Likewise, if you have any trouble with when you're on the phone, just call back into the number and provide the information provided to you. If you have any questions during the webinar today, please type them into the chat box. I will be taking questions at the end of the webinar, but please feel free to type them in as you have them, and we'll get those answered once Terry finishes his presentation. So with us today, we have Terry Bolden. Terry is the Deputy District Director for the Small Business Administration Central and Southern Ohio District Office and manages the delivery of the agency's financial assistance, technical assistance, and governmental contracting activities to customers and stakeholders through 60 of Ohio's 88 counties. He is a dedicated public servant with over 25 years of public service and is recognized as an effective collaborator, creating strategic partnerships across the state of Ohio. He joined the SBA in 2020, and in 2021, he was named to the Association of Ohio Commodores. So without further ado, I'll turn things over to Terry to get started. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, thank you for the warm introduction. Again, as I'd say, my name is Terry Bolden, and I serve as the Deputy District Director for the Columbus District Office here in Ohio. It's a little bit of a misnomer because we do service and cover the entire central and southern part of Ohio. But we want to say thank you, Heritage Ohio, for this invite, and we'll get started with our presentation. Who is the U.S. Small Business Administration, and what do we do? Our role is to help small businesses grow, expand, and recover. We are the only agency, a cabinet agency that helps businesses start, grow, expand, and recover. And we are a cabinet level agency, which means our administrator reports directly to the President of the United States. We were founded in 1953, and for over 70 years, we've been helping businesses receive capital, contracts, and counseling. What is a small business? Defined by the U.S. Small Business Administration through our size standards, is based on the number of employees and the amount of revenues that your small business has. So this would be related to the NEX codes, or the North American Industry Classification codes that are size standard and set by the Small Business Administration. So if you are a manufacturing business, you could have over 1,500 employees and be considered a small business. And again, if you are a service firm where your revenues are above 40 million, you can also be considered a small business. Those size standards can be obtained through sba.gov/size standards. How does the SBA help? We call this the 4 C's of our service that we provide. We provide counseling, capital, contracting, and most often, many forget, we also provide counseling or crisis support for homes and businesses, the many natural disasters that the country has experienced over the last several years. Again, the SBA Columbus District Office, who are we and where do we cover? Areas we cover. We are, again, one of 68 district offices throughout the U.S. There are 2 district offices here located in Ohio, again, the Columbus office, and then the Northern District, which is the Cleveland District Office. And we cover 60 of Ohio's 88 counties. So that includes all of Dayton, Cincinnati, and Appalachia, depending on where you're from, through our region. We have a total of 10 dedicated SBA employees here who help with lending, contracting, and counseling. We look forward to helping you along the way. Counseling. When we talk about helping businesses grow and meet their potential, we do this throughout a network of resources that work directly with the Small Business Administration. There are over a huge list of businesses that come to us and say, I'm seeking contracting or counseling assistance. One of our strategic resource partners here in our network is SCORE. And for many of you who are not familiar with SCORE, SCORE stands for Service Corps of Retired Executives. Many of those who have served and provided over years of experience in corporate America often give back to the small business community through volunteer and mentoring services, and SCORE provides that service. So many of our businesses, I mentioned, who come to us looking for services, we often refer them to SCORE, which provides free online workshops and webinars to help their business grow. Another strategic partner, Small Business Development Centers. Now, at SBDC, another one of our main resource partners, works with providing free business counseling, business research assistance, and low-cost training. So if you're an entrepreneur looking for business services, we often refer our small businesses also to the Small Business Development Center. There are currently over 13 small business development centers, or SBDCs, in the Columbus District Office footprint. And again, they provide low-cost training as well as business development services and counseling. Another one of our strategic partners in our network are the Women's Business Centers. Now, again, many of our WBCs also provide services for other both men and women, but the Women's Business Centers focus specifically on assisting women-owned businesses with access to capital, comprehensive training and counseling, business advice, and also networking opportunities. The 4 women's business centers in our footprint are all hosted by ECDI, and ECDI is the Economic Community Development Institute, which is also the nation's largest microlender. They're headquartered here in Columbus, and they also house or host our women's business centers. Another one of our partners in our resource network are VBOCs, or Veteran Business Outreach Centers. This Veteran Business Outreach Center network specifically provides technical assistance and business plan preparation for both veterans and or military spouse individuals who are seeking to start or grow their small business. There's one VBOC center currently in our region, and that is located in Flint, Michigan. It is Vet Biz Central, but they cover our area, our region, throughout Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. Currently, there is an opportunity for the VBOX centers to expand. There's an opportunity currently in the network to include or to increase 6 VBOX. That RFP just went out, just so everyone knows. Hopefully, Ohio we are in the running for a VBOX center, but hopefully we will find out here shortly if that will be the case. But the Veteran Business Outreach Centers are specifically for veteran, service member, or military spouses who are interested in growing their small business. Addition to our resource partner network are what they were formerly called PTACs, or Procurement Technical Assistance Centers, or Apex Accelerators. So if you are seeking to do business with the federal government and specifically local contracts, Apex Accelerators provides technical assistance, securing registration and certification for your business. If you're seeking to do business with the Department of Defense, Apex Accelerators is one of our main partners, which helps you identify bid opportunities and assist with preparing proposal documents. Capital. One of our main components of the 4 C's is capital, and businesses seeking capital to grow their business. The SBA provides also microloans through our microloan, as we mentioned, ECDI, which is the largest microloan lender throughout the U.S., here located in the Columbus footprint. But capital for your business to start, to grow, and expand is done through the SBA's programs and services and lending programs. There are 3 main components to the SBA's lending programs, and our flagship loan program is a 7A program, which provides up to $5 million of working capital for small businesses seeking loan or capital. You can use those funds for working capital, equipment purchase, and also with competitive loan terms, revolving lines of credit as well. And it's very robust in the secondary market. 504 loans can be used up to $5 million for land, property, fixed assets, and equipment purchase. One great thing about a 504 loan is it has a low down payment program. That means that your position would be 10% in the loan, 40% would go through the CDC or the Community Development Corporation, and 50% would be with the bank of record or the originating loan bank. So 504 loans are very, right now their interest rates are very competitive. They're hovering around 6%, and you can finance up to 25 years for those loans. Another loan program that we have are microloans. Now, again, very competitive. It is a program that you can obtain up to $50,000 of SBA lending, but up to $500,000 for other additional lending resources through the microloan. It has less stringent credit requirements. And again, as I mentioned, ECDI, the Economic Community Development Institute, is our largest microloan lender in the U.S., and they're headquartered here in the Columbus District region footprint. One thing about the Community Advantage program, it is a mission-based program. Community Advantage is also housed and utilized through the several of our lenders here in the district footprint, which would include ECDI and the Community Capital Development Corporation, CCDC, here in the region. The SBA also offers guaranteed bonding. Those bonding limits just increased over the last 6 months. So if you are seeking to obtain bonding for a government contract, you can get up to $10 million in bonding. For a non-government contract, it's up to $6 million. And very similar to the lending program, the SBA is the guarantee on the bond that you that you can obtain. Also, innovation grants, SBIR and STTR, you can get up to $1.5 million in grant funds for technology innovation and any interest to the federal government. These grants, these small business innovation resource grants, are specifically for research and technology. We offer these through our grants.gov website. And again, you can get up to 1.5 million for technology. And then also our equity and non-bank debt financing through our SBIC network here with the SBA. Another C of our 4 C's is contracting. And as everyone knows, the federal government is the largest customer of buying all kinds of products and services. Over the last fiscal year, the federal government purchased over $800 billion in contract opportunity. And we are also required by law to provide contracting opportunities to small businesses. And that breakdown of 23% of all prime government contracting must go to small businesses that are certified with the SBA's contracting programs. 4 of the SBA's contracting programs include the 8A Business Development Program, Hub Zone Program, the Women's Business, Women-Owned Small Business Program, and the Service Disabled Veteran Program. That's SDVOP program. Some of the categories of, again, as we mentioned, for small business utilization, over 23% must go to small businesses, and that is a congressional record. 5% of federal contracts, 5% must go to women-owned businesses. 13%, which is now a new robust increase by the administration to increase small disadvantaged business participation, has increased to 13%. Hub zone or historically utilized business zone businesses, 3% of all federal contracting, and for service disabled veteran-owned businesses, 5% must go to small businesses doing contracting with the federal government. And the last of the 4 C's is crisis. As many people know, FEMA is one of the first government agencies on site when there is a natural disaster, but also keep in mind the SBA is as well. The SBA provides billions of dollars in low interest long-term disaster loans to help businesses, homeowners, and renters recover from declared disasters. One in particular, just as an example, most recently during the tornadoes that occurred back in May in Logan County, the SBA set up a disaster loan office to meet with the local residents to help specifically help with the resources to recover due to the tornadoes that occurred there in Logan County. It is low interest and money directly to the approved applicant. And again, loans will cover real estate, property, personal property, economic injury, of course, that would include your business, machinery and equipment, inventory, and additional active military who've been affected by the disaster. A couple initiatives that the SBA is currently embarking on. We have currently a new 7A working capital pilot program. This is a guarantee up to $5 million in a cap line. Currently, this is an increase to the previous program. And again, with the cap line, this will allow businesses to take on new opportunities that a regular term loan would not. And that, again, that cap line of working capital is up to $5 million. And then also the increase expansion of the Community Advantage program, which will allow the maximum amount of loan for Community Advantage lending for projects that are focused on climate-focused projects with flexibility to help your business grow through improvements through using solar panels and green infrastructure improvements. In addition, another update is the SBA system certification update. So all applications will be now housed. That would include the women-owned small business certification, the Hub Zone, the 8A, and the veteran certification programs will be housed under one platform. So all certifications will be processed through the SBA under this one platform. And that system certification will begin after August the 1st. All applications prior to August 1st will continue to be processed, and those after August 1st will be on hold until the system certification platform is updated. That will begin in the fall of fiscal year 2025. And then one last initiative and update that we have for the district. Currently, we rolled out a program called Pathways to Entrepreneurship. And currently, that program is being rolled out with our partnership with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Currently, we are trying to reach new populations of potential entrepreneurs with the potential to help them start their business through training and outreach. This program also has been rolled out to both Wilberforce and Central State University. And again, the Pathways to Entrepreneurship program, the SBA Columbus District Office, and this is the first in the nation, goes directly into the local correctional facilities and meet with individuals who are inspired to start their own business. We also here at the Columbus District Office are expanding our SAM agreements, our strategic alliance memorandums. Those are partnerships to help the SBA local office continue to work in each community to help both businesses, entrepreneurs, and communities have access to SBA resources. And with that being said, that is the conclusion of my presentation. I know there's a lot of information. We kind of went through those quickly, but I definitely wanted to leave time for a lot of Q&A that would probably come about after the presentation. So I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Jerry. And if anyone has any questions, please type those into your chat box now. We're going to take a short commercial break here before we start doing that. So coming up, we have 2 more webinars in the next 2 weeks. So next week, we're going to be discussing the single-family home tax credit with OFA here in Columbus. And that tax credit is a new program. It's helping expand home ownership, and particularly around downtowns. So if you're interested in that, you can find more information on our website, heritageohio.org. And the following week on August 14th, we're going to be presenting with the Ohio Department of Development and the Ohio History Connection to discuss pipeline funds. So pipeline funds help with listing properties on the National Register of Historic Places. And also the Ohio History Connection is going to be talking about CLG funds to also not only get things listed on the National Register, but also get districts established, get funding for design guidelines and things like that. So same place, heritageohio.org, to find more information and to sign up for those. All right, Terry, we've got a couple questions here. First question is, what are some of the most common usages that people are using microloans for?
Absolutely. Because microloans are they're often used for the smallest of small businesses. So startup costs are one example of where microloans are used, but also for equipment purchase. Currently, as I've mentioned, ECDI, Economic Community Development Institute, which is the largest microlender, has what they call a food fort in their facility, and they support local food trucks and the distribution of their product and their service. And many of the food truck businesses work with microloan providers, particularly ECDI, for, again, equipment and purchase of product to help their business grow. Microloans particularly are housed in mission-based lending programs. So again, for businesses that are in the underserved community, will oftentimes work directly with the microloan program. But to answer your question, primarily for startup businesses, as well as small equipment and product purchase.
Thanks, Terry. Next question here is about 7A loans. Can you talk a little bit more about the qualifications for those loans and what typically people are using them for?
Absolutely. And I do apologize. I didn't really get into 7A as much as I could have, but it is our flagship loan program. And the 7A program has been around since the inception of the SBA, which is 1953. The SBA is not a direct lender. We do guarantee, we're the guarantor for loans for small businesses seeking loans to grow their business. An example would be a small business is seeking to purchase equipment or office furniture to grow their business. They would then go to a lender, a lender that has what they call delegated authority to lend to the small business to use SBA guarantees and say, hey, I would like to apply for an SBA loan. And like many other loans, of course, collateral, your credit, as well as any history that you may have of growing your business or starting your business will be in play. But you would go directly to the lender requesting an SBA backed loan. Again, the SBA is not a direct lender. We work directly with all of our lenders. You can go to lender match, SBA/lender match to find out who and where are all of the businesses or the lenders that do business directly with the SBA in terms of loan opportunities. And Lender Match is almost like a dating site for small businesses seeking to find a lender. You can punch in your zip code, what you plan on using the funds for, if it's working capital, and it will provide a list of lenders. Many of our 7A loans are, again, focused around working capital and equipment purchase. The current percentage around the loan percentage around the 7A program right now is prime +3. So it could be anywhere between, it starts at 8.5, which is the current prime rate, +3 percentage points, so around 11 to 12%. But you have a wide range of lenders that you can work with to obtain capital through the 7A program. But again, working capital and equipment purchase is the primary usage or utilization of the 7A program.
Thanks, Terry.
I hope that answers in a long
time. That's definitely good. Kind of switching gears here a little bit. So a lot of the attendees today are working with community organizations like Main Streets and CDCs. What are some ways that they can partner with the SBA to foster more entrepreneurship in their downtowns?
Absolutely. And this definitely is the heart of what our office likes to do. And we love to go out on boots on the ground and meet with businesses and community organizations to hear from businesses one-on-one on what their pain points are, what their needs are, and how we can connect them to our network of resource partners. But in particular, much like Heritage Ohio, in forums like this one, we provide information along the way to help, present on what we do and how we administer that. We would say directly give us a call. We work directly with all of our resource partners, all of the chambers across the region, and we provide training and outreach services to help all of our resource partners and small businesses grow. Directly, again, I think a couple weeks ago, we were in Gahanna and we met with, I think we were there with the chamber, the mayor, and several community organizations, and we met with several businesses one-on-one to hear what their needs are and to hear their story. So again, I would say at any time, at any organization that wants to focus on entrepreneurship and helping businesses grow and connecting resources, please give us a call and directly at our office or any one of our offices throughout our network, and we will be there to provide training and outreach programming.
Thanks, Terry. First, um, we rephrase this question a little bit here. So let's just say an individual has an idea to start a business, maybe not even gotten to the small business plan part of it yet. What are your suggestions on their first steps on what they should be doing to start a business?
Well, I always say, always, there are several steps, and one thing is making sure that there's a market for that idea. There are several tools out there that you can uh, provide, get some research in to find out, is there really a market for my product and my services? And particularly if you're seeking to do business with the federal government or any local state government um, in our region. Market research is important. That's one. Two, we do often we recommend creating a business plan, at least understanding, where you want to take your business over the next 3 to 5 years. So taking your market research, building a business plan, and seeing what that looks like on paper is important. And we often recommend that that small business work with one of the SBDC centers, the small business development centers, just to help kind of write that plan out. And then finally, from market research to business plan to then also kind of start local. Um, it is easy for many business, startup entrepreneurs to say, "Hey, I need $500,000 to start my business," and once they kind of work backwards and find that, I'm going to need 10% of that down right away, which is, going to be $50,000. Maybe that's not a good startup cost for me. Uh, I would say start uh, by doing a sample size of your idea. We've had many of our food truck and restaurant businesses start local and work within an ecosystem of of kind of test and sampling their business idea with local family and friends, if you will, first. Um, and then start continuing to network and grow their business. One particular idea we also say, outside of attending a lot of training and outreach programs, continue to network where you want to grow your business. There are several Chamber of Commerce groups across our region that host programming for businesses. Start to connect with, a lot of local entities and entrepreneurship programs to help you connect with other individuals with ideas to help grow your business. But most importantly, just to start one, two, and three: market research, business plan, and provide and do a test sample of your product or service. In short.
Great advice, Terry. Next question here is, could you explain a little bit more about the services provided by the VBox?
Yeah, absolutely. So many of first off, you have to be a veteran owned a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, and in particular, um, they provide two different levels of services. One's called Boots to Business, and the other is called Reboot. And in particular, they provide an introduction to entrepreneurship programming and training services. Um, they basically it's a street MBA for veteran owned or veteran and military spouse individuals. They provide in this Boots to Business modules that walk through the introduction of business ownership, taking ideas and turning them into a business, understanding markets and competitive advantage, the economics of starting a business, picking the right legal entity for your business, financing, and continued support. But with the VBOC, primarily it is training and entrepreneurship connectivity. As many of us know, that the skills that you get in being a military service individual, those skills transfer over into a successful corporation or a small business. Skills that you don't get anywhere else in the world. But with the VBOX, they provide training modules that help you understand the process of entrepreneurship and connecting with other veterans in the program.
Thank you, Terry. So if anyone has any final questions, please type those into the box. So while we're seeing if anyone types any more questions in, Terry, I got a question for you. So you've been at the SBA now about 4 years. What's one or two of your favorite success stories that you've seen having worked at the SBA?
Well, I will tell you, I came on board during the pandemic, and what is dear to me, through that 2020, 2021, 2022, the rollout of many of our programs with PPP and EIDL, economic injury disaster loan programs. And I will say that those programs saved thousands and thousands of businesses throughout Ohio and millions across the U.S. I don't want to say that there's one particular success story, but I will say because of those programs that were rolled out, I can remember receiving calls from small businesses that were crying over the phone saying, we've been shut down here for the last several months, and right now we're on our last leg. And hearing the stories of several businesses say, hey, that when I received the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program funding, it saved my business. It saved, our family business. And I think that's a huge, touch point for me, because, we're here as public servants to help businesses, to help individuals grow, and to thrive. And that was a hard part, in our society here, that we went through, but we're now on the other end of that. And there have been countless other businesses I can say that have called, and we've seen them grow by utilizing SBA 7A funding, as well as receiving government contracting through either RIPAT or DLA here in our footprint. But the biggest success, again, was the fact that we were able to deploy millions of dollars into the system to help businesses and to help legacy businesses, stay afloat and continue to grow.
Sounds perfect, Terry. Thank you. I'm not seeing any other questions, so thank you, Terry, for joining us today. And if anyone has more questions, please reach out to Terry. There's the Northern office, there's the Central and Southern office that Terry represents. Please reach out to the SBA how they can help your communities. It's an amazing administrative service that they provide. And Terry, do you have any final comments for everyone?
I do, and I want to say again, thank you, Heritage Ohio, for allowing us this time to present in a brief fashion of our 4 C's and who we are and what we do. But we have a dedicated team here that's passionate about helping businesses grow and thrive. I will also suggest please follow us on LinkedIn at SBA Columbus District Office. So we do have a LinkedIn page that you could follow us on, or you can also reach out to us and follow us on our website at SBA/Columbus District Office. And if you have any specific questions, I don't know, I didn't see it in the chat, but if you can put my email address in there.
Sure, I can do
And
that
it,
right now, and I can also include it in the follow-up email tomorrow to everyone.
okay, great. And that is Terry, that's TERRY .Bolden, BOLDEN at SBA.gov. And you can email me directly if you have any questions or need any small business counseling services. We're here to help.
Thank you, Terry. So we'll conclude the webinar now. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. Thanks once again to Terry and the SBA for putting together this webinar with this great information for everyone. And we will see everyone at our next webinar. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.